Good morning students. In the last class we discussed about the nucleotide. We were discussing about nucleic acids, under that nucleotide. A nucleic acid is made by many nucleotides. In nucleic acid, DNA as well as RNA both are polymers of nucleotides, long polymers of nucleotides. So what is a nucleotide? Nucleotide. Nitrogenous base plus sugar and phosphate together makes the nucleotide. We studied the nucleotides of DNA and nucleotides of RNA. So what is a nucleotide? Nucleotide, sugar plus nitrogenous base, sugar plus nitrogenous base plus phosphate is a nucleotide. So the sugar in the case of DNA is deoxyribose sugar. Deoxyribose sugar, adenine plus phosphate gives the first nucleotide, deoxyadenosine monophosphate, that is for DNA. So the four nucleotides are deoxyguanosine monophosphate, deoxycytidine monophosphate and deoxythymidine monophosphate. Now coming to RNA, the four nucleotides of RNA are, the sugar is ribose sugar, so adenosine monophosphate, guanosine monophosphate, cytidine monophosphate and here it is thymine, here it is uridine monophosphate. These are the nucleotides of RNA. Nucleotides of RNA. Up to here we discussed nucleotides. Now next continuation, how the nucleotide is formed. How the nucleotide is formed. Formation of nucleotides. What is nucleotide? Think of, this is pyrimidine, one of the pyrimidine, single ring pyrimidine, this is sugar and this is phosphate. So carbons of sugar are primed. So this is 1 prime, 2 prime, 3 prime, 4 prime. Here comes CH2OH. So this carbon is a 5th prime. To this when phosphate is attached, this is a nucleotide. So nucleotide is with sugar or base, sugar and phosphate. In the case of nucleoside, I told base and sugar are connected by N-glycosidic bond. Now what about the bond here? The bond between sugar and phosphate. Phosphate is bound to the sugar at the 5th prime carbon by phosphoester bond, ester bond. So phosphoester bond, and here it is N-glycosidic linkage, that is in the case of nucleoside. So a nucleotide is formed by joining phosphate to a nucleoside by phosphoester bond, I'll draw for another sugar. Here comes CH2OH and here comes the phosphate, same. Here instead of like this. So this is pyrimidine, this is a purine. Purine 9th position, pyrimidine 1st position, N-glycosidic bond, and here this is 5th prime carbon to which the phosphate is attached, So this is how the nucleotides are formed. Nucleotide. Next, coming to a concept of nucleoside. So recall the concept of nucleoside. Adenosine, deoxyadenosine are the nucleosides. So when we come for DNA, the first nucleoside is adenosine that is deoxyadenosine. Deoxyadenosine is the nucleoside of DNA, and adenosine is the nucleoside of RNA. So what is adenosine? Adenosine is a deoxyadenosine is for DNA, for RNA it is adenosine. So to this nucleoside, when phosphate binds, we say adenosine monophosphate. So this I will write adenosine monophosphate. To this deoxyadenosine, when phosphate binds, it becomes deoxyadenosine monophosphate. So these have only one phosphate. Here there is only one phosphate. Now I will mark adenosine as A. This is adenosine, not adenine, adenosine. So adenosine, to that adenosine, when one phosphate is attached, we say as adenosine monophosphate. We say it as adenosine monophosphate. Now think of adenosine again. To the adenosine, when two phosphates are attached, they become adenosine diphosphate. To the adenosine, when three phosphates are attached, it is called adenosine triphosphate. So you study two more concepts, that is adenosine monophosphate, adenosine diphosphate, and adenosine triphosphate. So what is adenosine? Adenosine is a nucleoside of RNA. Adenosine is a nucleoside of RNA. Nucleoside of DNA is deoxyadenosine monophosphate. So in this as well as in this, how many phosphates? Only one. So that is adenosine is represented as A. Then adenosine monophosphate, adenosine diphosphate, adenosine triphosphates. Now we studied nucleic acid is a polymer of nucleotides. Means what? Several nucleotides. Nucleotides are the basic units of a DNA molecule. So several nucleotides joined together. Means what? Now we say polynucleotide. So nucleic acids are nucleotide. Means what? Think of a nucleotide. One nucleotide is attached to another nucleotide. Like this. So several nucleotides makes a long polymer. Now how the nucleotides are joined? For example, this is a sugar, this is the nitrogenous base, and this is the phosphate. So this is one nucleotide. I will draw another nucleotide. This is another nucleotide. One more nucleotide. Like this. So nucleotides are connected with one another to form a polynucleotide chain. How they are fused? Now this is which prime? Here CH comes. CH. This is CH2. Okay. Here this carbon is fifth carbon of this sugar, to which a phosphate is bound by phosphoester bond. Same thing here. So here it is a fifth carbon. To this fifth carbon, phosphate is bound by phosphoester bond. So here is phosphoester bond. Okay. Now these are connected like this. This phosphate is connected to this, and this phosphate is connected to this. Means what? Phosphate of another nucleotide is connected with the phosphate of neighboring nucleotide by and again a bond, phosphoester bond. Phosphoester bond. So phosphoester bond here occurs between phosphate and 5th prime carbon of sugar. Here between phosphate and this is which prime? 3rd prime. 3rd prime carbon of sugar. So in two places we can see phosphoester bond. In two places we can see phosphoester bond. One is here, one more is here. That means these two together are called phosphodiester bonds. Phosphodiester bonds. So again here one more phosphodiester bond comes. Like that, nucleotides are held together by phosphodiester bonds. Nucleotides are held together by phosphodiester bonds to form a polynucleotide chain. To form a polynucleotide chain. So nucleotides we studied. What is a nucleotide? Base, sugar and phosphate forms a nucleotide. Depending upon which base they are named. For example, if this is pyrimidine, cytosine or thymine. If this is adenine, double ring. If this is purine, either adenine or guanine. Depending upon which base that nucleotide is named. And nucleotides are connected with one another by phosphodiester bond. What are phosphodiester bond? Before that, what is phosphoester bond? The bond which is formed between phosphate and 5th prime carbon of sugar. Deoxyribose sugar is a phosphoester bond. Phosphoester bond are again also formed between. So what is this? This is 3 prime carbon of sugar with the phosphate. This bond. This is also phosphoester bond. This phosphoester bond. This phosphoester bond. Two bonds together make phosphodiester bonds. So same thing you can see, I have written one long chain here. Try to observe this. Only this part, try to observe this. Say this is one. Sugar, base, phosphate. So what is this? This carbon, 5th prime. 5th prime carbon to which phosphate is attached. What is this bond? Phosphoester bond. Go for another one. This is another nucleotide. Base, sugar, 5th prime carbon of this sugar to which phosphate is bound. So this is another nucleotide. 1, 2, 3, 4 nucleotides. How they are connected? Here is phosphoester bond. At the same time, here is also phosphoester bond. What is this prime carbon? 3rd prime to which the phosphate is bound. Again, 5th prime to which that phosphate is bound. Phosphoester bond here. Again like this. Here also phosphoester bond. Here also phosphoester bond. Phosphodiester bonds. Observe this. Now again observe the chain, long chain. So the long chain at one end, this is one end, this is another end of the chain. At one end, see one end, there is a free phosphate group. At one end there is a free phosphate group. The chain at one end is having a free phosphate moiety. At one end there is a free phosphate moiety. Moiety is a portion or a part. At one end it is with a part phosphate. So at one end, the polynucleotide chain at one end is with a free phosphate moiety. Now that free phosphate is attached to what? That free phosphate is attached to the fifth prime carbon of the sugar. Fifth prime carbon attached at the fifth prime end of the sugar. Fifth prime carbon of sugar, deoxyribose sugar. Yes, this phosphate is attached. This carbon is fifth prime to the fifth prime carbon of deoxyribose sugar. So at one end there is a free phosphate moiety. Moiety refers to part or portion. Attached at fifth prime carbon of sugar, and this is referred as fifth prime end of the chain. This is referred as fifth prime end of the polynucleotide chain. So chain can be expressed by two ends. A chain always is expressed by two ends. So this end is always fifth prime. Why? This carbon is a fifth prime carbon of this deoxyribose sugar. Yes, the polynucleotide chain is with two ends. At one end there is a free phosphate moiety attached at the fifth prime of carbon, fifth prime carbon of deoxyribose sugar. That end is referred as fifth prime end, 5 prime end of the polynucleotide chain. So one end is 5 prime end, which I showed here. This 5 prime refers to this fifth prime carbon of sugar, fifth prime. Now another end. Another end there is a hydroxyl group. Another end there is a hydroxyl group. So at the another end there is a hydroxyl group, OH group. Attached to, so what is this prime? This we started as 1, 2, so this is 3 prime. Attached to 3 prime carbon of sugar, 3 prime carbon of sugar, which is referred as the 3 prime end of polynucleotide chain. 3 prime end of polynucleotide chain. So what is that? Nucleotides join together to form a polynucleotide. Polynucleotides are formed from phosphodiester bonds. A polynucleotide chain is with two ends. One end is 5 prime end, other end is 3 prime end. So this is a polynucleotide chain. Each one is a nucleotide, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nucleotide chains are held together by phosphodiester bonds. Okay, this is fifth prime carbon of this sugar to which a phosphate is bound. So a polynucleotide chain at one end is with a free phosphate moiety which is attached to the fifth prime carbon of sugar, which is referred as 5 prime end of the polynucleotide chain. So at one end it is having a free phosphate group, free phosphate moiety part, which is attached to the fifth prime carbon of the sugar, which is referred as 5 prime end of the chain. At another end there is OH group. At another end there is OH group, which is attached to the third prime carbon of sugar, which is referred as 3 prime end, 3 prime. So a chain is always with the two ends, 5 prime end and 3 prime end. This is 5 prime end, this is 3 prime end. Here you can't see OH because OH comes only here. So always at the top it is a phosphate here. So this is 5 prime. When you come here, this is 3 prime. That's why here it is 3 prime. 1, 2, 3 prime. 4 here, this carbon, this is 5 prime. So a chain is always with the two ends. One end is 5 prime, another end is 3 prime. In this case, the same chain in inverted condition it is there. So when it gets inverted, see, sugar gets inverted, automatically this become 1, 2, 3, 4, and here comes, this is the fifth carbon. Then what is this at the top end? When the sugar is inverted, this is the third prime, so this becomes the third prime end. Whereas this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, and here this is 5. then this become phosphate. No need to concentrate on this. This I'll explain in the next class. Concentrate only on this part. So a polynucleotide chain is with the two ends, 5' end and 3' end. It is with the two chains, 5' end and 3' end. Okay, continuation. Now think of a structure somewhat like this. Structure somewhat like this. Think of ladder like structure. Structure somewhat like this. Imagine this is the support of the ladder, one side, and these are the steps of the ladder. Steps of the ladder. Somewhat a polynucleotide chain resembles like this. So this part is called the backbone and these parts are the steps. Imagine like that, backbone and the steps. A polynucleotide chain is somewhat like this. Means what? What is backbone? See, this is the backbone. Sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate. Leave this blue color, those are the nitrogenous bases. Observe only this much. Sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, like that. Only that much portion. In the sense, only this much portion you have to observe. That forms the backbone. That forms the backbone. So this is the backbone. So backbone started how? Sugar. How the backbone was started? Sugar to which a phosphate connected, sugar to which a phosphate, sugar to which a phosphate got connected. So this connection, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, make the backbone of the polynucleotide chain. Yes, backbone of the polynucleotide chain is made by repeated units of sugar and phosphate. Repeated units of sugar and phosphate. So backbone of the polynucleotide chain is formed by repeated units of sugar and phosphate. Sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, like this. This makes the backbone. So backbone of polynucleotide chain is made by repeated units of sugar and phosphate and nitrogenous bases. See, this is the backbone now. What is backbone? I'll draw like this. This is the backbone now. This is the backbone. From this backbone, the nitrogenous bases project. In the sense, these nitrogenous bases are linked to the sugar and they project from the backbone. Yes, the nitrogenous bases, I will draw the nitrogenous base. For example, here is a nitrogenous base, here is a nitrogenous base, here is a nitrogenous base. Means what? Nitrogenous bases are linked to the sugar. Nitrogenous bases are linked to the sugar and they project from the backbone. That is that. Nitrogenous bases are linked to sugar and they project from the backbone. Yes, the repeated units of sugar and phosphate make the backbone of the polynucleotide chain, and the nitrogenous bases are linked to the sugar which project from the backbone. That's all. So backbone is made by repeated units of sugar and phosphates. Backbone of the polynucleotide chain is made by repeated units of sugar and phosphates, and the nitrogenous bases are linked to the sugar moiety, deoxyribose sugar, and they project from the backbone. So there we ended the nucleotides. Next concept is length of DNA. DNA. Length of DNA is explained by telling the number of nucleotides. So nucleotide, what is this? Now this polynucleotide chain is with how many nucleotides? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So length of the DNA is always defined by telling the number of nucleotides. Length of DNA is a polymer of polynucleotide we say, polymer of nucleotides, or polymer of nucleotides we can say, or polynucleotide. DNA is a polynucleotide. DNA is made by many nucleotides together, or DNA is a nucleotide chain. So length of DNA is defined by telling the number of nucleotides. ಟೋಟಲ್ ಡಿ ಎನ್ ಎ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದು? ಎಷ್ಟು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಉಂಟು ಈ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ ಚೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಉಂಟು? 4. ಸೊ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಡಿ ಎನ್ ಎ is always defined by telling the number of nucleotides in that DNA, by telling the number of nucleotides. That is one type, by telling the number of nucleotides. In few cases by telling the number of pair of nucleotides, by telling the number of pair of nucleotides. For example, think of your DNA. Now this DNA is having, I'll write as 1000 nucleotides. That is this method of telling, by telling the number of nucleotides, 1000 nucleotides. Another method is by telling the number of pair of nucleotides, So the same thing when it is in number of pair of nucleotide, it is 500 pair, we say 500 pair, like that. So length of DNA can be defined by two methods, either by telling the number of nucleotides in them, or by telling the number of pair of nucleotides, ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಹೇಳೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಅದರ ಹಾಫ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಹಾಗೆ. either by telling the number of nucleotides or by telling the number of pair of nucleotides. These pair of nucleotides are called base pairs. Pair of nucleotides are called base pairs. Base pairs means what? Base for nitrogenous bases. Base is for nitrogen. Base pairs. So when it is nucleotides explained in the term of number of pair of nucleotides, it is called base pairs. Base pairs. Base pairs, which is written like this, base pairs. Base pairs. Base pairs. So length of DNA can be explained either by telling the number of nucleotides or by telling the number of pair of nucleotides. Again DNA varies from organism to organism, or from species to species we can say. Not from organism, species to species. Okay, few DNA lengths are Yes. Few lengths of DNA. This is a bacteriophage named Phi. This is the symbol for Phi. Phi 174. This is read like that. Phi 174. The total length of the DNA of Phi bacteriophage. Bacteriophage is a virus. Bacteriophage. Phi 174. Phi 174 is 5,386 nucleotides. 5,386 nucleotides. So this is explained in terms of nucleotides. Remaining 3 are explained in terms of base pairs. Base pairs. When this is doubled, it comes as nucleotides. When this is made half, it comes in the terms of base pairs. Now these 3 are explained in terms of base pairs. Second one, another bacteriophage, lambda. Bacteriophage lambda is with 48,502 base pairs. Escherichia coli, a bacteria, Escherichia coli. This is a bacteria, earlier 2 are viruses. This is a bacteria which is with the length of DNA is 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pairs. 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pairs. When we come to human being, diploid cell, haploid cell we say. With one set of chromosomes we designate it as N, with the two set 2N. So this is for haploid content of human. Haploid refers to for 23 chromosomes. Haploid refers to for 23 chromosomes. So haploid content of human beings, it is 3.3 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs. 3.3 into 10 to the power 9 base pair. That is for haploid content. So how we designate for haploid content? N. The same thing when it is for diploid content. How? For the diploid content, what is the length of DNA? Double of that. That is 6.6 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs it comes. In textbook this is given. So try to remember these 4. Length of the DNA. Length of the DNA always explained by explaining the number of nucleotide or by telling the number of base pairs. By telling the number of nucleotides in it, or by telling the pair of nucleotides. By telling the number of pair of nucleotides which we call as base pairs. Base pairs. Base for nitrogenous base. Base pairs. So these 2 are for virus, bacteria, haploid content of human. Bacteriophage, this is virus, 2 virus, 1 bacteria, and for human haploid content of human. In first case it is in terms of nucleotides, in remaining 3 cases it is in terms of base pairs. Next, a note on discoveries of DNA. Some of the discoveries. Few scientists worked on this. First scientist is Friedrich Miescher. Friedrich Miescher in 1869. Scientist named Friedrich Miescher in 1869 told that DNA is the acidic substance. He told like that DNA is the acidic substance. In 1869, Friedrich Misher in 1869 told that DNA is a acidic substance. I already told in the structure of DNA, in the polynucleotide chain, it is with the base, phosphate and sugar. Phosphate is phosphoric acid, which gives acidic property to the polynucleotide chain, like that. Yes, that was first given by scientist named Friedrich Misher. He told that DNA is the acidic substance. DNA is the acidic substance. DNA is an acidic substance present in the nucleus, and he called it as nuclein. DNA is the acidic substance present in the nucleus, and he called it as nuclein. So at the time of 1861, nucleus was named as nuclein. DNA is the acidic substance. DNA is the acidic substance present in the nucleus, and that nucleus Misher called it as nuclein. And because of some technical limitations, the structure of DNA was not found out at the time of Misher. So the first scientist who worked on this is discoveries under DNA, Friedrich Misher. He told that DNA is the acidic substance, present in the nucleus, and he called it as nuclein. Because of some technical limitations, the structure of DNA, he failed to explain the structure of DNA. Next, another set of scientists, second group of scientists who worked on this are James Watson and Francis Crick. James Watson and Francis Crick are the second group of scientists. They finally gave the structure of DNA, which is called the model of DNA, to explain DNA structure. To explain the DNA structure, they gave a model which was famous as double helix. So James Watson and Francis Crick explained the structure of DNA. They gave the model of DNA. They explained the model of DNA, which is called double helix, to explain the structure of DNA. They gave a model which is known as double helix. They gave a model which is known as double helix to explain the structure of DNA. And their work was based on another two set of scientists. So these two works were prior to Watson and Crick. Watson and Crick proposed this double helix model to explain the structure of DNA, and their work was based on these two scientists' work. So what are they? So model was explained by these two scientists, and their work was based on first group of scientists, Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin. Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin gave X-ray diffraction data, X-ray photography we say, similar to that, X-ray diffraction data of DNA. X-ray diffraction data of DNA was given by Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin. So these scientists took information from the X-ray diffraction data. Watson and Crick took information from work done by Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin. That is, they gave the structure of DNA in the form of X-ray diffraction data. From them they took the information. Another scientist is Erwin Chargaff. He told like that in DNA the ratio of A is equal to T. Ratio of A is equal to T, or we can say ratio of A is equal to T means what? A for adenine, T for thymine. Bases, nitrogenous bases, then G and C, like this. The ratio between A and T is same, and ratio between G and C is same, means A, some number of A in the chain 20, then 20T. The ratio is same, ratio is equal to 1, ratio is same, 20 is to 20, like that. So ratio between adenine and thymine as well as guanine and cytosine is same. This was given by Erwin Chargaff. In detail we are studying the Erwin Chargaff's rule in structure of DNA. So based on these scientists took information from these two scientists. In this it is told like that A is equal to T. A is equal to, so in a DNA how many A are there? At the same amount of T are there. A and T are same. And how many C are there? Same amount of G, like this. So what is AT? AT are nitrogenous bases. C, G are the nitrogenous bases, like that. So based on the information given by these two scientists, James Watson and Francis Crick gave a simple and famous model of DNA, which is simple famous model of DNA known as double helix, to explain the structure of DNA. So under discoveries we studied 6 scientists. We studied nearly 6 scientists. Recall in short. First scientist under discovery is Friedrich Miescher. He told that DNA is acidic in nature. DNA is present inside the nucleus and he called it as nuclein. Because of technical limitation, he failed to explain the structure of DNA. Next is X-ray diffraction data given by Maurice and Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin. X-ray diffraction data about DNA was given by Dyson. Next scientist Erwin Chargaff. He told that ratio between A and T and C and G are same. Next scientist is James Watson and Francis Crick. Based on these two information, these scientists, simply called Watson and Crick, James Watson and Francis Crick, proposed a model to explain the structure of DNA. Model is referred as double helix, which is the simple and the famous model. So the simple and the famous model of DNA was given by James Watson and Francis Crick just to explain the structure of DNA. Their model is called double helix model, which we will see in the next class. Thank you.